Warning: the following video contains disturbing material that may be inappropriate for younger viewers. Parental discretion is advised. With a total of over 200 suspected murders to his name, Harold Shipman is the most prolific serial killer of modern times. His grisly tally of victims puts him well ahead of Pedro Lopez, the monster of the Andes, who was convicted of 57 murders in 1980. Lopez claimed to have killed many more, but the exact number of deaths was never verified. Until Shipman's crimes came to light, Lopez had the dubious distinction of topping the serial killer league. At present, however, it is a British family doctor, rather than a penniless Colombian vagrant, who has become the world's #1 murderer. The sorry tale began in 1946 when Harold Frederick Shipman was born into a working-class family in Nottingham. Known as Fred, the boy had an unusual childhood. He had a brother and a sister, but was clearly his mother's favorite. She felt like Fred was destined for great things, and taught him that he was superior to his contemporaries. Even though he was not especially clever, he had to work extra hard to reach academic success. During his school days, he made few friendships with other children, a situation that was exacerbated when his mother became seriously ill with lung cancer. The young Shipman took on the role of carer for his mother, spending time with her after school, waiting for a visit from the family doctor who injected her with morphine to relieve her from pain. It is possible that the stress of this experience during his formative years may have pushed him into mental illness, causing him to reenact the role of carer and doctor in the macabre fashion that he later did. By this time, Shipman was 17 and his mother had passed away of cancer after a long and painful illness. He enrolled at medical school and made little effort to make friends. However, at this time he met and married his future wife. The pair went on to have 4 children as Shipman began his career as a doctor in general practice. To many, he seemed kind and pleasant, but colleagues complained about his superior attitude and rudeness. Then he began to suffer from blackouts, which he attributed to epilepsy. However, disturbing evidence emerged that he was in fact taking large amounts of pethamphetamine on the pretext of prescribing the drugs to the patients. He was dismissed from the practice, but surprisingly, within 2 years, he once again was working as a doctor, this time in a different town. In his new job, the hardworking Shipman soon earned the respect of his colleagues and patients. However, it was during this time at Hyde, over a 24-year period, that he is estimated to have killed at least 236 patients. His status as a pillar of the community, not to mention his kindly bedside manner, for many years masked the fact that the death toll among Shipman's patients was astonishingly high. Over the years, a number of people, including relatives of the deceased and local undertakers, had raised concern about the deaths of Shipman's patients. His victims always died suddenly, often with no previous record of terminal illness, and they were usually found sitting in a chair, fully clothed rather than in a bed. The police had been alerted and had examined the doctor's records, but nothing was found. It later became clear that Shipman had falsified patient records, but at this stage the doctor's claimed air of authority was still protecting him against closer scrutiny. Then, Shipman made a fatal mistake in 1998. Kathleen Grundy, a healthy, active 81-year-old ex-mayor with a reputation for community service, died suddenly at home. Shipman was called and pronounced her dead. He also said that a post-mortem was unnecessary since he paid her a visit shortly before her death. When her funeral was over, her daughter Angela Woodruff received a badly typed copy of Miss Grundy's will, leaving Shipman a large sum of money. A solicitor herself, Miss Woodruff, knew immediately that this was fake. She contacted the police, who took the unusual step of exhuming Miss Grundy's body. They found that she had been administered a lethal dose of morphine. Surprisingly, in murdering Miss Grundy, Shipman made a little effort to cover his tracks, either to forge the will carefully or to kill his victims with a less easily traceable drug. Whether this was thought sheer ignorance and stupidity, or thought a latent desire to be discovered, no one knows. However, once the true nature of Miss Grundy's death was uncovered, more graves were opened and more murders came to light. During his trial, Shipman showed no remorse for the 15 murders he was accused of. There were known to be others, but these alone were more than enough to ensure a life sentence. He was contemptuous of the police and the court, and continued to protest his innocence to the end. He was convicted of the murders and imprisoned. 4 years later, without warning, he hung himself in his prison cell. Today, the case of Harold Shipman remains mystifying. There was no sexual motive in his killings, and until the end, no profit motive. His murders did not fit the usual pattern of a serial killer. In most cases, the victims seem to have died in comfort and at peace. It may be, as several commentators have pointed out, that he enjoyed the sense of having control over life and death, and that over the years he became addicted to his sense of power. What is clear is that in finally taking his own life, Harold Shipman ensured ultimate control. No one would ever fully understand why he did what he did. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment who you think the next serial killer is going to be. And also remember to comment down below anything having to do with the video for a chance to be on a daily shout out. You can also follow me or reach out to me on Twitter, and I have a Twitch channel that I play some games on. Both will be linked in the description down below. Until next time, guys, sweet dreams.